Today I'm going to show you how to grade using the add-on Flubaroo. So to get an add-on, you go up to this top bar, and I am on Google Sheets, and this is the only thing that Flubaroo will work on. So you go up to the top and add-ons, and then I already have it, so it already gives me the option. However, if I didn't, I would just go to Get Add-ons. And then here it's going to give me all the add-ons that are possible. So I'm going to type Flubaroo in the search box, and here it is. So it shows that I already have it, so I can manage it. However, it is a free add-on, and if I didn't have it, it would give me the option to get it. And I would get it, and it would download and become part of the program. And then once you have it, it will always be under the add-ons box, and then it will have its own little column and give you all the options. So anytime we want to do something within Flubaroo, it will always be under the add-ons tab. So Flubaroo is a program designed to grade. So that's the main point of it. I am using my answers from an assessment that I received doing Google Forms. So on Google Forms, I sent out an assessment. I had people give me the responses back, and then I've created a Google Sheet from Google Forms, and then here's all my answers. So this is what I want to grade. So I'll go up to Add-ons, Flubaroo, and then I've already graded it once. However, Flubaroo will let you regrade assignments as many times as you want. So I'm just going to go up to Regrade Assignment. It would say Grade, and this is just a notification telling me that it's going to replace my grades, which is what I want it to do. So the first step in grading is to designate what the questions are and how many points you want for them. So Flubaroo already knows that since I had a name and an email question, that it's probably not going to be worth points. So it gives me the option, and it automatically chose that these are student identifiers. So the options for grading include identify student, such as name and email would be. You can skip the question so that it won't be graded, or just skip the grading for the question. Have it normal grading, or grade it by hand so that Flubaroo will not assign a point to it. You have to do it once you look at it. And this would be if it's a short answer or maybe a long answer or something that can't automatically be a definite correct or incorrect answer. So there's the identifiers, and then it automatically gives me the value of 1 point for each of my questions. And if you click on this, it gives you the option to go from 1 through 10. So I'm just going to keep them all at 1. So I'll hit continue. And then the second step is that it's going to have me choose a key. So here's all of the people that took my assessment, and I actually took it and named it key so that I knew all of the correct answers. So key is selected here, the little bubble. So I will continue. And now it is grading the assignment. So it takes just a little bit for it to process and do its thing. And now it shows me that it's complete. So here's my grading sheet, and we'll start up here at the top. So it gives you an automatic summary. So it shows me how many points were possible for each student to receive, and there were 6 questions, and I had them for 1 point each, so they could get a total points possible of 6. It shows me the average points, so this is how many points were possible, and then the average grade that all students received. How many submissions, so how many people took the quiz, and since I already chose my key, it will not count that as a submission. So I only had 2. And then it will show me the number of low scoring questions, which I'll explain here in a second. And there were 2 of them. So here's all of the quizzes the answers that I received from the quizzes, and then all the point values and all of the information. This is all of the grading. So it shows me what time they submitted it. It shows me the identifiers, so the name and the email. And the identifiers are separated from the grading by this big, thick gray line. So that's how you know. On the left side are the identifiers, on the right side is the actual grading portion. So it shows me how many total points each student got. So this top student got 5 points, and this bottom student got 4 points out of 6. It shows me the percent that they got based upon how many points they got, how many times they submitted it. We'll talk about this later. And then it shows me each question and how many points they got, if any, for each question. So this top person got a point for everyone except for number 5, where they scored 0. And then the bottom person got the last 2 incorrect. So there are 2 questions that are highlighted in orange, and this Fluber automatically does this when the average of the question was less than 60%. So you can see both students got a 0% on question number 5. So that means it was a bad question because students did very poorly on it. So it's an orange. And then this one, only one of the 2 students got the answer correct, which means it's a 50%, and so it's less than 60%. So anything less than 60% on average of the question is highlighted in orange. And then as you can see, one student is in black and one student is in red. This means if a student is in red, it automatically means that they scored a 70% or less. So this student, you can see the percent was a 66.67%. So it's just that letting you, it identifies the lower scoring students. So you could decide what your pass-fail percentage is, and I will show you how to change that here in a little bit. So once I see this, if I want to view a report for it, I go up to Add-ons, Fluber, and then there's an option to view report. So I'll click on that, and it will think. And then here's my grading report. So it shows me here on the left, access that here's the number of submissions, and then here's the number of points scored. So you can see I had 1 submission of a student that got 4 points correct, or 4 points total, and then I had 1 student that got 5 points. So you see the option to email myself the report, and you can only email the report to yourself once in your email. Then you can download it and do with it what you wish. But you can only email it to yourself. So I can do that if I want to. So here's the report, and then it shows up here the same information that was in the summary up here. So I can get out of that. If I want to email the grades to the students, I can go up here back to Fluber and then share grades. And then under share grades, it's saying, do you want the name of the email? We want the email. We want it to send to their email. And then you can choose if you want to include the list of questions and scores so that they can see which individual questions they got incorrectly. And you can include the answer key if you want to. And then you can type a message. So I can say, here are your assessment scores. Hit continue. And then I've already shared their scores with them, so it's telling me that it couldn't send because they've already had their grade shared with them. However, if I didn't, it would have said 2 people or 2 emails were sent because there's 2 options. Fluber also has advanced settings, as with most things on Google. So if you go to advanced, the first one is advanced options. So if I click on advanced options, it gives me lots of them right here. So it's showing me on this, and note that it says for this spreadsheet only. And this is where I said about the 70%. So Fluber automatically puts it at 70%, but if I want to know any student that got under 50% or under 100%, then I can choose that. It will choose if you auto grade. So auto grade means that it will grade without you telling it to, without you regrading it.